Imagine scrolling through your phone and stumbling across a decade-old voicemail from a loved one who's gone, their voice trembling as they warn you about a danger you never knew existed. Welcome to Shocking Stories, where we uncover the chilling truths hidden in the messages we forget. Today, we're diving into a tale about a woman in Cleveland whose aunt's old voicemail led her to a family secret so horrifying it shattered her world. Ever think a forgotten message could change your life? Buckle up, because this story will make you check your voicemails twice. Let's dive in. Sarah Bennett was a 39-year-old social worker living in a cozy duplex in Cleveland, Ohio, about 6 miles from the city's bustling West Side Market. Her aunt, Linda, a kind but secretive woman, had died in 2015 from cancer, leaving Sarah her old flip phone stored in a box 10 feet from her bedroom. One rainy afternoon, while sorting through keepsakes, Sarah powered up the phone and found a voicemail from Linda, dated 2013. In a shaky voice, Linda warned, "Sarah, there's a dangerous man in our family. He's in Cleveland. Don't trust him." The message cut off abruptly. Sarah's heart pounded. Who was this man? Sarah called her friend Emily, a true crime journalist who lived 3 miles away in Lakewood. Emily, intrigued, urged Sarah to investigate, noting Linda's cryptic tone suggested real fear. Sarah searched online for Linda's past, finding a 2013 Cleveland police report about a missing woman, Jane Carter, last seen 2 miles from Linda's old home. The report mentioned a family member, questioned but not named. Sarah's stomach churned. Was this connected to Linda's warning? What would you do if an old voicemail hinted at a family threat? Sarah decided to dig deeper, starting with Linda's contacts. The phone listed a number for VK, which Sarah traced to Victor Klein, a distant cousin she barely knew, living 10 miles away in Parma. Victor, a 45-year-old warehouse manager, had always been charming at family reunions, but Linda avoided him. Sarah visited the Cleveland Library, 4 miles away, finding a 2013 article linking Jane's disappearance to a warehouse in Parma, where Victor worked. Her unease grew. Was Victor the dangerous man? She confided in Emily, who suggested hiring a private investigator. Sarah contacted Mike Torres, a PI based 5 miles away in Strongsville, who specialized in missing persons cases. Mike agreed to investigate Victor, warning Sarah to stay cautious. Mike's initial findings were alarming. Victor's warehouse had been flagged in 2013 for suspicious activity, but no charges were filed. His financials showed large cash deposits since 2010, unexplained by his job. Sarah kept the voicemail secret, acting normal around family, but noticed Victor calling her unexpectedly, asking about Linda's belongings 20 feet from her kitchen during a family dinner. One night, her duplex back door, 15 feet from her living room, was jimmied, with only Linda's phone touched. A text from an unknown number buzzed. Delete the message. Sarah's hands shook. Was Victor hiding a crime? Ever feel like a loved one's warning is pulling you into danger? Let's see where Sarah's search leads. You ever feel like a voice from the past is screaming for you to listen, but every step you take toward the truth puts you in deeper danger? That's where Sarah was, haunted by her aunt's voicemail warning of a dangerous family member, with clues pointing to her cousin and a missing woman. A jimmied door and a threatening text turned her Cleveland home into a trap, and someone wanted her silenced. Welcome back to Shocking Stories, where we're diving deeper into a mystery that's only getting darker. Ready to see what Sarah uncovers? Because this story's about to take a terrifying turn. What would you do if a message exposed a family crime? Sarah's first step was to investigate Victor Klein. She and Mike reviewed Jane Carter's 2013 case, noting she'd vanished after visiting a Parma warehouse 10 miles away where Victor was a supervisor. Mike pulled Victor's phone records, finding calls to a burner number linked to a Cleveland bar, 3 miles from Sarah's home, known for shady deals. Sarah searched Linda's phone again, finding a deleted text from 2013 to VK. "I know what you're doing. Stop." Sarah's heart raced. Linda had confronted Victor. She checked Jane's case online, finding a forum post claiming the warehouse was a trafficking hub, never proven. Sarah decided to tail Victor, borrowing Emily's car to avoid recognition. She followed him from his Parma home to the warehouse, parking 200 feet back, and saw him meet a man in a black SUV, exchanging crates. Sarah snapped photos, catching a woman's silhouette in the warehouse window, 50 feet away. Mike identified the man as Carl Ruiz, a convicted smuggler released in 2012, living 5 miles away in Brooklyn Heights. Sarah planted a recorder in Victor's car during a family barbecue, 30 feet from her backyard, catching him say, "Sarah's asking about Linda. She's a problem." Sarah's hands shook. Was Victor running a criminal operation? Mike hacked Ruiz's email, finding messages to Victor about shipments and keeping Jane quiet, with Sarah's name listed as a risk. Sarah's blood ran cold. Victor was tied to Jane's fate, and Linda had known. She confronted her mother, Diane, who lived 2 miles away in Ohio City, showing the voicemail. Diane admitted Linda had suspected Victor of dark business, but was too scared to act. Sarah's anger flared. Her family had ignored the signs. That night, her car was tailed for 2 miles from the library, losing the pursuer in traffic. A text buzzed, "You're digging too deep." Sarah checked Linda's old address book, finding an entry for the Parma warehouse marked Danger. Mike confirmed Victor leased it through a shell company, active since 2010. Sarah and Mike staked out the warehouse, 150 feet from the loading dock, seeing crates moved at midnight with muffled cries inside. Mike called Detective Lisa Vargas at Cleveland PD, 6 miles away, reporting possible trafficking. Vargas warned Sarah to stay clear, but she couldn't wait. As they left, Ruiz's SUV followed them for 3 miles, then vanished. Sarah's phone buzzed. Family doesn't snitch. Ever get that sinking feeling your kin is hiding a monster? Let's see what happens when Sarah fights back. You ever feel like you're staring into the heart of your family, only to find a darkness you can't unsee, with lives hanging in the balance? That's where Sarah was, holding her aunt's voicemail as proof her cousin ran a trafficking ring, using their family name to hide his crimes. A warehouse of horrors, a tale in the night, and a plea to stop. Her heart and life were on the line. Welcome back to Shocking Stories, where we're about to uncover the final twist in a tale that turned a message into a fight for justice. Ready for the shock of a lifetime? This one's gonna hit you hard. What would you do if your family was guilty? Sarah took the evidence to Detective Vargas, who linked Victor's warehouse to 3 missing women since 2010, including Jane Carter. The twist solidified. Victor had built a human trafficking ring, using the family's trusted name to lure victims, with Linda's discovery threatening his empire. He'd silenced her suspicions, but Sarah's digging revived the danger. Vargas planned a midnight raid on the warehouse, 10 miles away, but Sarah needed to face Victor. Her heart broke. She'd shared holiday meals with him, 20 feet from her dining room, unaware of his evil. Sarah confronted Victor at his Parma home, 10 miles away, showing the voicemail transcript. "What did you do?" she demanded. Victor's face hardened. "Linda should have stayed quiet," he sneered, admitting he'd used the warehouse to move people for profit, with Carl Ruiz handling logistics. Victor claimed the family owed him, as his father, Sarah's uncle, had cut him off, forcing him into crime. Sarah's anger surged. Her cousin was a monster. Victor lunged for her phone, grabbing a knife from the counter 10 feet away. Sarah screamed, dodging, as Emily, alerted by a panicked call, burst in, 30 feet from the door, distracting Victor. Vargas's team raided the warehouse 200 feet from a hidden basement, rescuing Jane Carter and 2 others, emaciated but alive. Victor fled to the site, 50 feet from the loading dock where Sarah and Mike followed. Inside, Victor held a gun, ranting about family loyalty as Vargas's team surrounded him 20 feet away. Sarah pleaded, "Stop, Victor," but he fired, grazing Mike's shoulder. Vargas tackled Victor, cuffing him after a struggle, 10 feet from a crate of forged IDs. A search uncovered ledgers detailing 20 victims trafficked across 100 miles of Ohio, with Ruiz confessing for a plea deal. Victor was charged with trafficking, kidnapping, and attempted murder, exposing a ring active 15 miles away in Elyria. Sarah cut ties with her family, moving 120 miles to Columbus, unable to face Diane or Cleveland's memories. The worst part? Victor's prison calls to Ruiz hint at other family partners, and Sarah deletes old voicemails, fearing another warning. So, could you follow an old message after this? This is Shocking Stories, and we're just getting started. Hit that like button if this gave you chills, and subscribe for more heart-pounding tales. Comment, would you follow an old message? Share this video, because sometimes a forgotten voicemail unlocks the deadliest mysteries.